I just ordered DoorDash because I have literally no food in my house, and also I wanted more to drink a little bit. And as I was like going back inside, and as the dude was walking away, he went, "Have a good night. You're beautiful." Sir, I don't need that right now. Please leave me alone. I'm sorry. Anxiety, kind, I guess, but like
The guy says a polite compliment and her whole system short circuits. Listen guys, it's already a tough world out there. You don't need this nonsense draining you. Keep grinding, stay locked in, and hold the line. They're all the same. If it were a Chad dropping off her food, she would have stepped outside and giggled through the whole interaction. But because it was a shy dude trying to be respectful, she turned it into anxiety theater. A few months from now, she'll be posting on TikTok again, wondering why men don't approach or talk to women anymore. Like she didn't help build that reality herself.
A lot of the videos I've been posting about how men are not approaching women keep surfacing common themes. Fear of rejection, fear of being called creepy, anger towards women that women have been telling men to not approach them, so now men are confused on this app. And another thing that I'm seeing very persistent across these comments is very, very low confidence and low self-esteem. The issue around low self-esteem and low self-confidence is completely separate from like even the whole discourse around should men approach women or not. Like the fact that so many people, men included, but like people generally struggle with their self-esteem and self-confidence is so upsetting, because if we don't have a strong sense of self, we're not going to be healthy. We're not going to have a healthy mind. We're not going to treat our bodies in a healthy way. And we're not going to have a healthy spirit if you take it a step further.
I tried to look for the comments she mentioned where men are persistently talking about having no confidence, and I found maybe two, just two. So this whole narrative she's spinning is already insane. Instead of holding women accountable for the environment they created, she's inventing a brand new storyline where men are the problem, men are broken, and men need to fix themselves to make approaching them easier. It's classic deflection, turning a female-caused issue into a male self-help lecture. Also, she doesn't have to admit that men pulled back because women made approaching miserable.
You want to know what's fucking crazy to me? Is the fact that men aren't men anymore.
Let me pause here to tell you guys that I had to trim and speed up this clip because she pauses a lot to think about what to say. Classic woman rant, so I just cut off a lot of the dead air.
You don't really see men pumping gas for their women anymore. You don't see them starting their cars in the morning when it's cold, or, you know, when it's hot so that, you know, the air's blowing for them. You don't see men doing things for their women anymore. Women are out here pumping their own gas, you know, working, and, well, you're supposed to be working, but paying all these fucking bills by yourself, pumping your own fucking gas, doing things that if you are with a man, that a man should be helping you take the fucking load off for you. And you don't see him doing that no more. No wonder half of us are fucking single. Because if a man's not gonna do what he needs to be doing that we can do for our motherfucking self, then I don't need a man. Don't need one. If a man cannot take the emotional and mental stress off me, then why the fuck would I want one? Don't make my life more complicated. The fuck? Then you wonder why I make your life complicated, because you're not making my life any fucking easier. This dating age is for the fucking birds. It's so easy to cheat now. It's so easy to sleep with women. It's so easy to just go out and fuck bitches and that'd be it. Fuck your girlfriend, fuck settling down, fuck any of it. And it's stupid. It is absolutely fucking stupid.
I cut the clip short, but she goes on for another 2 minutes with her rant, and she's just repeating her slurry words. She's basically saying men aren't doing men things anymore, which is to make their lives easier, like men are extras and background characters in their lives, and that she doesn't need a man if she can do those things anyway. It's wild how openly she treats men like this, but here's the part she won't ever admit. When you train men to feel unnecessary, they stop volunteering to be needed. That's just how life works, sweetheart. Been that way long before you discovered TikTok.
I love men, and I am not ashamed to admit that, because if you have ever seen a nice set of abs, you understand what I'm talking about, or some like nice biceps. And I'm sick of girls being like, oh, we don't even need men, men suck. What? Don't say that. Because if someone said that about women, we'd be highly insulted. I think we need to admit men are great. And sometimes you just need some good eye candy to get you through the day.
A very, very rare win for the men. Problem is, she just farming for simps to comment on her videos. Hold the line, boys. Hold the freaking line.
Fucking stupid! Okay, as a part 2 to my last story about how a guy came up to me at an event, asked for my number, started texting me, and then before we even planned one date, he wrote to me saying that he just is warning me that he's been single for 3 years, still not ready for anything committed, and yet still wants to get to know me and hang out. Like, basically that he wanted something casual and he's a fuckboy. And so now I'm realizing that this is a common trend happening in the dating world, where it's like these men have realized that they're pieces of shit and they suck, but now they've understood communication. They figured out how to communicate it and how to actually tell you up front, hey, I really suck. And I don't have myself figured out. I'm not in therapy. I don't know myself. I don't know what I want. I'm still working on so many issues. They text you that, they tell you that up front, instead of letting you figure it out. So it's like, hey, at least they're being upfront about it, you know what I mean? But also, like, it doesn't make it any better, you know what I mean? So now we figured out communication. They communicate that they suck to you, and at least they give you a warning. But how about we work on not sucking? How about we go to therapy? How about we figure out why we suck so much and how to fix it? And let's stop sucking.
He literally told you the truth up front, and somehow you spun that into him sucking. This is what happens when men give women the honesty they keep begging for. It gets weaponized and mocked the second it doesn't align with your fantasy. He wasn't confused. He was setting boundaries so you wouldn't rewrite the situation later. If anything, that man deserves a medal for clarity, because most guys learn the hard way that you can't please someone who gets offended even when you tell them exactly what you want.
I just taught a yoga class at Equinox, and one of my students came up to me later in the night at the gym. She was like, oh my God, I completely missed your class this week, but I really wanted to take it. And then we got into such a good conversation. Somehow it becomes about dating. And we were both talking about how it's so annoying how men don't approach women at the gym. And I feel like this can go one of two ways. And I get why men are hesitant to approach women at the gym, because it's like, what if you keep seeing each other and it doesn't really go anywhere? Is that awkward? Whatever. But like, the gym is a perfect environment. You're not at the bar. It's like you have common interests. Maybe you live in a similar neighborhood, or you're in a similar neighborhood at the same time. Like, you're all working out. Like, everyone looks hot. Like, why are men not approaching women at the gym and just being normal about it? Like, we should make the gym more of like a community vibe, Like, even when you go to workout classes, people are in, out, on their phone. Like, no one is like building connection. So it was so nice that this girl just came up to me and started talking to me, and she was my student, and I actually got to know her. And then we got to bond over the fact that like men are not coming up to women at the gym, or just in general in life. And I know it's not just me that's feeling frustrated by this. I know it's not just me. There are so many women that are like, WTF.
You're treating this like men suddenly malfunctioned, when the reality is a lot simpler. A gym isn't quiet because guys are scared. It's quiet because most dudes aren't walking into spaces trying to impress strangers anymore. They lift, they focus, they go home. No theatrics, no fishing for approval, no chasing someone mid-workout for a conversation that'll probably go nowhere.
Can we get to the bottom of this question of why Dutch men don't approach women? Please comment your thoughts, because honestly, it has been one of the most shocking things for me living in the Netherlands, is how much there's just like the social thing and like the man and woman thing. Because in New York, you basically cannot leave the house without somebody trying to come up to you and talk to you. I have a boyfriend at the tip of our tongue, because we know there's gonna be some weirdo or creep, maybe not a creep, coming up to you and being like, hey, can I get your number? Like, no matter what you look like. But in the Netherlands, you are fine. Go out. Nobody's gonna come up to you unless maybe you're drunk at a club, and I don't go to clubs. So why? Somebody let me know.
When you describe any stranger who approaches as a potential creep, men pick up on that more than you think. Nobody wants to gamble on an interaction where the label depends entirely on whether you find him attractive in that moment. A man can approach with good intentions and still get written off because the timing wasn't right or the vibe didn't land. After a while, guys stop risking it altogether and just choose peace. In places like the Netherlands, that cultural line is even clearer, so men keep their distance out of respect, not disinterest.
This one's for the guys. Do you guys like not shoot your shot with women in person anymore? Because I did go on this date with this guy that I met with on Circa, and he was great. He was, good looking, had a good job, like we had really good conversation. But he literally told me that he wouldn't have the confidence to go up to me if we were at a bar, which I don't really understand because he is a good looking guy. Like, I don't understand why he wouldn't have the confidence to do so. So is this like a universal thing? Do men just not approach women as much anymore?
He told you he lacks confidence, but that doesn't mean he's some trembling mess. A lot of guys just don't see the point in performing bravado for a stranger in a bar when life already gives them enough to deal with. Confidence looks different now. It's quieter, more selective, and saved for situations that actually matter. There are men who think that talking online feels straightforward and that approaching a woman in public comes with 1,000 invisible tripwires, so most men don't bother unless the moment feels right. It's not fear, sweetheart, it's conservation.
We need to talk about the new epidemic that no one's naming. The rise in main character men. It's the epidemic of men wanting to be in the center. They no longer want to be providers or partners. No, baby, they want to be the main character. I'm pretty sure we've all seen these TikToks of men being in the center on the stage and then the audience also being other men. It's weird. Even in your conversations with men, they talk to women as if they were other women. All this can be reflected in the fact that this generation has some of the lowest marriage rates in the history of the United States. And it's not because women changed, because I feel like that's the narrative that's being pushed. It's because men changed. Somewhere along the line, they stopped wanting to build things and started wanting to be admired for basically nothing. And as a Southern woman in college who is also a senior who thought they were going to have a ring by spring, this epidemic is quite concerning. And if this keeps up, the only rings we're going to see is in the cloud of smoke from a hookah inside the club. Thank you.
What's wrong with men putting themselves first? For years, they were expected to provide, commit, sacrifice, and hope it would be enough. And all it got them was disappointment, pressure, or getting replaced the moment they slipped. So now they invest in themselves because it's the one place where the return is guaranteed. When the rewards for effort disappear, people redirect that effort. Men just stopped pouring into a system that treats them like a backup plan.
I had a guy come up to me the other night at a party and be like, "Hey, I think you're really pretty. I just wanted to introduce myself. What's your name?" And he was like, "Can I please have your phone number?" And he was really nice and approached me in a very calm, gentle, sweet way. But like, it got me thinking of how scary it must be to be a guy and to have to go up to girls. Like, if I was a guy, you would never catch me doing that. Like, probably ever. I don't think I would ever do it. I think if I were a guy, I would have to approach with like a funny joke or like a funny comment about something, because there is no way you would see me going up to a girl and being like, "Hi, I think you're really pretty. What's your phone number?" Like, that is so nerve-wracking. So if you're a guy listening to this out there that approaches women, not in a creepy way, but like, nicely says like, "Hey, what's your name? I just wanted to say you're really pretty." Kudos to you, because that must be terrifying. For me, I usually go up to the guy first. Like, if I see a guy that I want to talk to, I'll just go up to him and like make a joke or something, because I feel like it just alleviates the awkwardness of like a man needing to come up to you first, especially if I see a guy that's like looking at me and like I could tell he wants to say something but like can't get the courage. I'm like, fine, I'll do it. Guys are like, it's literally a 99% success rate if a girl comes up to you first, so that's kind of why I do that. But yeah, I just want to like talk about the fact that it's such an awkward thing to do, like having to be a guy and go up to girls in public. Like, that's terrifying.
It's funny because she's finally realizing something men have dealt with their whole lives. Approaching a woman is a risk with zero protection, zero guarantees, and a whole lot of potential humiliation. Women experience it once in theory and immediately call it terrifying. Men experience it every time for decades and get mocked if they hesitate. That's exactly why so many guys stepped back. The burden always fell on them. Initiate, impress, entertain, pay, lead, risk rejection, risk being seen as a creep, risk being recorded, and still somehow be confident through all of it. The pressure is always unrealistic, and modern dating only made it worse. And that's it for this video, guys. If you stayed until the end, please leave a like and drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, see you on the next one. Peace.
Fucking stupid!